Okay, I can see you've made some progress. Regarding the model being flipped, what I would say is if you go View, Default View, you can see that's the back. So I think you just model it facing this way to begin with. What I would say is select all of these, group them, um, rotate it around 180 degrees. While we're at it, let's get the feet on the floor. Um, and then we might want to adjust the image plane accordingly. Oh, I see it doesn't actually match what you're doing here. Well, I'm just going to match the feet. So that's interesting. I wonder why your proportions are so different from the drawing. Unless you've scaled this, which it does not look like you've done. What about on the side? Are those very different as well? Yeah, and this is now facing the wrong way. So this one has been scaled down, but proportionally. I guess I'll do the same minus 0.827. Um, yeah, and again, the proportions of your character are pretty different from the model, although maybe these aren't scaled. Let's take a look at the two image planes. Oh, huh, that's not. Yeah, so this one's scaled a lot different from that one, so that's why they're so different. So let's try to get these the same. I wonder if it's 0.827 again. Let's just try that. Because if you had it the same in Photoshop, then oh no, that's way smaller than that one. Oh, I see. This one actually needs to be bigger. Yeah, it's better if they match perfectly in Photoshop, and then you don't have to deal with this in Maya. But let's say that's about right. No, I think that's about this. It's different. I don't know. I mean, personally, I would make sure they match perfectly in Photoshop. Bring in two images exactly the same size, and then you don't have to do any of this like eyeballing and fine tuning in Maya. Um, yeah, I mean, it seems like you're still going on the head. I don't know if there's much. Just make sure you don't leave this kind of wedge shape in the front. Kind of flatten out the forehead, and it's best to do before you add too much detail. Um, you don't want these. This is not a good way to terminate edge loops. What you've done here, um, where they just stop there, because then you end up. What you want to avoid is faces with more than four sides. So if I go to select, use constraints, next selection, and end sided while I'm in face mode, and I select, all these faces have more than four sides, and it's easy to see why. See how this edge adds here, so it's this, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Um, same with this one, same kind of situation here. This is something else. This is, um, yeah, okay, there's a vert in the middle there, which we can just get rid of, delete, okay. But yeah, it's kind of, I don't know why so many things sort of end in the middle there. That's not so good. And again, it's kind of wedge shaped from the top, and especially you're going to want to, and it's better to, I mean, really, it's better to get that shape improved before you add so many edges because it's just easier to. But you haven't really modeled the eye that much. I mean, what I would do is take these, at least some of these out. Um, Delete edge, and then start pulling these forward. I'm just selecting it from the top, and then just deselecting this with Control Select, and then I'm just going to use B for soft select. And yeah, let's take out these for now. And turn off soft select. Deselect those. Yeah, definitely could move these forward more. Anyways, it's needs a lot of shaping, but it's starting to get a little bit more of a kind of a forehead shape. Um, let's just do these. Anyway, I mean that I can't just sit and model the whole thing, but you're gonna have to just really, you know, work on the shape until it's a nicer shape. And the same thing's happening here. This big wedge where the chin is. You know, you really need to bring these forward, and maybe that can go back a touch, and you know, get as far as you can with the existing detail before you start adding more edge loops. And then add them in. And something's gone wacky here. I might take some of the, yeah, something's not right with all this. I might take them out. Oops. And try again. Because those are all zigzagging across, and shift right mouse click delete edge. Yeah, something, it's just, it's all, it's not, this is not right. It's, um, and you shouldn't be stretching stuff to where the faces are overlapping each other. Don't spend too much time looking at this in smooth mode, because that's where you start like pulling things way out of whack. You know, if they have to be pulled, stretched so far to get the shape, it means you need to extrude something rather than just pulling and pulling and pulling. Oh, I lost symmetry there. So yeah, I mean, I would take a few steps back before I went forward on this guy, because um, and just really just, you know, get some of the detail back out, really shape what you have, and then add a little more detail, and then really shape that, and then a little more detail, shape that, etc., etc. Um, yeah, and then the hands were concerning me. You haven't. Yes, something was really gonna move. They both like that? Yeah, they sure are. Wow, that is not looking nice. Could try to sort of. It seems like there's some extra edges here. That yeah, and like something's really wrong with the base of the fingers where these terminate there, and then. But then it seems like there's a lot of extra edges in here. But I might try to sort it out with surfaces, sculpt geometry tool, smooth, and then flood, and just see if that kind of helps at least you can kind of see what's happened a little easier now. I mean, you've lost some of the shape, but yeah, you've got not so good faces like that one there. This these areas got all messed up, and then there's a lot going in here, so it it'd be a lot of effort to. Let me just turn off selection constraints. Reset, disable all. Okay. I'm just deleting off that. Oh, we got another row here. Okay. Yeah, maybe a little bit more of this, just to kind of, and then you'll have to add the shape back in. But if you wanted to salvage this, yeah, look, something's really wrong here as well. Oh, there's just a big hole there. I mean, I don't think it takes that long to get the basic hand. I would actually, rather than trying to repair this and this and this and this and that, you know, I would build the hand again, because the repair job can often be more confusing than just building it from scratch. But you know, if you wanted to repair it, basically you need to sort of take out the problematic faces like that, and then fill hole, shift right mouse click, fill hole, and then put back in the appropriate lines, control shift X here to here. Oh, didn't want to do that for some reason. Is symmetry on? Yeah, let me turn that off. Control shift X. Here to here, and there to there, there to there, here to, I don't even know. And that's the problem, is like, what, now we have a triangle here. Can we take that out? Shift right mouse click delete edge. And then what about this one? Does this supposed to go around here and connect to that? You know, it's like suddenly you're having to solve a big puzzle, instead of just having it right to begin with, you know. So yeah, and there's another problematic face here and here and here. And here. Yeah, so I don't know how that happened in the first place, but you could go through and try to fix all of it, or you could just rebuild it. And I'm kind of on the side of rebuilding it. I can't remember if I did this for yours, but on a few of them I went over um, connecting the hand to the arm. I'll post that video for you as well, like for just someone else's model once we got the hand together. Yeah, but obviously you need the shoulders and kind of torso and continue on the head, so keep going.